Hello everyone, Alex here, welcome to episode 110 of a Let's Play. So I'm here at my Netherrack area, quarry area, and if you happen to have missed my previous episode, I overhauled the entire red power system here, the red power tubes and relays to applied energistics in everything related to inserting Netherrack into those magma crucibles. Now I did not get a chance to actually show you guys how that works, the new logic works, but I'm just here to show that it does now because off screen I managed to get to the point where exactly 8,122 Netherrack are equivalent to 1,024 bytes. So that's also kind of the evidence that every 8 of an item are basically a byte, pretty much. And you can see here the way the logic works. Let me quickly go over it. I have the ME interface right here. An ME interface will always try to, obviously, if there is no export config, any type of exported items will try to be pushed into the AE system. And right here, I have a gate checking if there are items in the inventory. So the logic here is those machines are always taking Netherrack in from an export bus from this ME chest, but whenever it's full, the items will start building up here. So whenever they build up here, this sends a resonance signal and turns off the quarry. So this is pretty much the same logic that I had with the red power, just expect instead of checking that conditional on the last line, like on the last available magma crucible, right now I'm checking it even before, basically I'm checking it on the storage itself. If I exceed the maximum capacity of storage, then basically stop. And this, again, overall it's logically the same. Every time some Netherrack builds up, about 7 to 9, because there is this spike of energy that simply needs to wear down, it waits here, it turns off the magmatic engines, and whenever that Netherrack has room to go into the chest, those engines turn on again. And this is pretty much exactly what I wanted to do originally with the red power. It didn't seem to work, but it does now. So there you have it. Alright, so as always, being episode 10th, you guys can expect our download link in the description below. I really wanted to finish setting up my crafting system before giving you guys a download, but I don't really know if I can. Some really rough calculations told me that I'm probably going to need approximately 80 quartz crystals or so to set up my crafting area. At least something minimal to begin with. And yeah, 65 is not 80. And I actually would like to have some bigger number than 80 so I can actually start doing some nicer things other than just set it up. So this episode, at least to begin with, I'm going to go back to my mutations project. This is something I did a couple of episodes ago by duplicating some nether stars, and this is something I'd like to get to today. Alright, so off screen I kept building Alvearies. I have 27 Alveary blocks waiting to be done something with. So this Alveary will be in theory just here to mutate stuff. So to get it working properly, I'd like to build a couple of things with the Alveary. First, I'd like to build the mutator block. Now, the mutator block is something that I went over previously. Let's see if I can just build it while talking about it. I'm going to need 2 diamond tubes. No, I don't have enough. Okay, so I'm going to need some gold and redstone. Redstone, not gold, diamonds. Alright, so the mutator block is a special block from Extra Bees that's designed basically to make sure that whatever you're trying to mutate, any type of bee that you're trying to mutate, will have a 100% success chance. And the way it works is by consuming a type of item. Actually, let me quickly get over the list of what exactly items do what. Alright, so basically you got 5 options according to the Feed the Beast wiki. Actually, let me finish building up the block and you guys can see it more easily what it does and how it works. I'm gonna need some gold here. So 1 Alveary block for mutator. Can craft 2, I just need 1, and that's pretty much it. So I'm just gonna randomly place it in the world right now so I can give you guys an example on how it works, but I'm gonna move it later. So you place it just like any other one of those specialty blocks, just a part of the Alveary instead of one of the Alveary blocks. And I'm gonna need some panels to top off the Alveary to complete it. So I have some birchwood slabs here. So top it off like this, complete the Alveary. And now whenever it updates, when it chooses to update, please update. There we go. You can see the mutator block has a slot for an item. Now, I don't know if you can actually, it seems like you can place anything over, for example, diamonds are not supposed to be a mutator thingy. You got the option of using soul sand, ender pearls, eye of ender, uranium, and nether star. And the way it works, every type of mutation has a base chance. So for example, when I try to mutate the Stark bee using the supernatural and the arcane bee, obviously I use the frames, the soul sand frames to boost it, but the base chance would have been 8%. So getting that mutation to work would have been an 8% chance of success. But when you use the mutator block, the item that you place inside it first will be consumed. Keep that in mind. Whatever you're going to place it is going to be consumed. Why does it break? And it increases the mutation chance by a specific number. So, for example, the soul sand will make it 1.5 times higher. So if I place a soul sand block on, for example, a 10% mutation chance, success rate, whenever the bees die, the soul sand is going to be consumed, but instead of 10% chance of being mutated, they're going to have 15% chance. So the reason why I started farming nether stars, obviously for the other apparent reasons, one of them will be to do that. So because the nether star has a multiplication value of 50 times. So anything above 2%, basically 2% or above, and the lowest success chance is 2%, there is nothing lower than 2%. Anything below that, anything above that, or basically when you think about it, everything, any type of bee will have a 100% success chance of mutating. So this is the reason why I got it, and this is the reason why I really want to use it, because now, since I got everything automated in regard to nether star production, or at least the basic materials for nether stars, I can start mutating bees more efficiently. And I did want to create a bee, a specific bee. I was talking about it a couple of episodes ago, but kind of left it like I didn't do anything about it. So this episode today, I'd like to get to it, and using the mutator block and a couple of nether stars, that process will be a lot faster and a lot easier. So I actually also wanted to make a couple of fans and hygroregulators, but I don't think I'm actually going to need it. Because if I'm going to replace those apiaries right here, I don't really need it. Okay, so let me set up the area for this new alveary. It's basically going to replace my other alvearies. Usually those alvearies that I had here were designed to be for mutations, but since this one will have a 100% chance to mutate, there is really no need whatsoever to actually have more than one. Because whenever you place it, you can be 100% sure it's going to be successful. So let's have it like this, the birchwood. And you know what, actually no, I'm going to need the fans and the heaters, otherwise I may have some issues. So let me build them. You guys have seen me build them before. Let me quickly build them and set them up. Okay, so since I'm going for this specialty alveary, I think I'm going to go for a frame housing as well. That's basically a block that's specifically designed to be able to hold frames, specific frames, even though you may think they're unnecessary. And you actually, when you use alveary, you don't need the frames as much, because you obviously have very high production and very high fertility usually, but that can increase it even more. So I think there is no reason not to try and go for it. So let's craft that one as well. So I'm gonna need some iron as well, and we can build this, the frame housing. Now I actually do not know how many frames does one hold. That will be a good thing to test. So I think it will only hold one, or maybe two, I don't know. Let's try and figure out. By the way, I removed the lower layer so it can go a little bit higher. Let's see, how many frames can I place in one? I assume only one, like not three, but yeah, frame housing can only be taking one. Well, I guess not. I can live with one. Alright, so I got a couple of specialty blocks. I got myself an Alveary lighting. Of course, it can be working at night, even though it's not very likely. Actually, let's not place it here. Let's place it right about here. I got myself an hygroregulator regulator to modify the humidity if necessary. And I got myself a fan and a heater, which will be right here. And hopefully, if there are no issues, and by the way, the frame housing is right here. Hopefully, if there are no issues, this should update without any problem. Now, you may be asking yourself, why would I need both a heater and a fan at the same place? Well, first, they will not be working at the same time, so that's the one thing. The other thing is basically, since this is going to, in theory, be able to mutate anything, at least I plan it to, I need to have possibility to either heat it up, cool it down, or everything here basically. So this is why it's here. And to begin with, I'm gonna try and breed the frugal bee. Frugal bee is basically the starting line towards the aware bee. This is the bee that I'm working towards right now. However, since I'm doing this with nether stars, the process will be a lot faster. So to get the frugal bee, I'm gonna need the modest drone or princess and a sinister or a fiendish drone or princess. They're actually all located the same place. I don't have either. Okay, so let's go for let's go. Okay, I need sinister something. Let's go for sinister drone, and I'm gonna need one modest princess. So let's apply the modest gene. Actually, I don't know if I have the modest gene. Okay, so let's do it the other way around. Let's take one modest drone. Where were they? One modest drone and apply the sinister gene on a tolerant princess. Wait, not tolerant. Tolerant is something that I'm trying to work towards. In another branch, I need the stony ones or the rocky ones. And apply sinister gene onto it. So where's my sinister gene? Should have it. There we go. So apply that and let it do its job. Alright, so while this bee is being applied the sinister gene to, I'd like to get another one of those red ender tank sets, and I also would like to get a new set that will be designed to have water at all times. So this is more for the hygroregulator, so to let me able to control what I need and when do I need it, because it can accept either water or lava. Not both at the same time, of course, but it can accept either. You just need to, of course, just give it the right thing. So I'm gonna quickly craft myself both the red tanks and a whole new set for water as well. Okay, so I just arbitrarily going to craft 5 new blue ones. That will be the water ones, and 4 new lava ones. Okay, so for the lava network, I already have everything set up, so I can just place down the tank whenever I need it. But for the water network, I don't have anything set up. Now, thinking about it, there shouldn't be too much of a problem really. I'm thinking just, since I already have the aqueous accumulator right here, I think just placing it right here and let it fill up slowly whenever possible will be pretty much enough. I don't need anything more than that. That's perfectly good. Alright, so let's have like this. I'm gonna need to have, let's get another chest in here, which will be designed to store all those excess thing related to this new specialty apiary. And I can get rid of this and store some stuff here. I already got 90 quartz crystal. Maybe I'll start this episode dealing with my platinum logistics crafting, but I don't know. We'll see about that. Alright, so let's see how is my bee doing. It's not yet finished, of course. Already 2 charges in, now the 3rd. Alright, so I'm gonna wait for this one to finish. And by the way, you guys may have glimpsed on the change that I made here. I decided to basically add relays to those macerator and electric furnaces here. And the export buses do exactly the same thing, the import buses do exactly the same thing, just now there are relays over here. So, for example, if I just want a little bit of glass, I can just grab some sand and dump it in here, where otherwise I couldn't really do that. Obviously, since the furnace has only one slot, it would have been taking that and then jam everything, and it's a little bit better like this. Alright, so the sinister presence is done. Let me get another star. Let's see if it works. Now I think it still will take some time. You're still gonna need to have to wait for the bee to die and everything, but it should make it 100% mutation chance. So this is what I'm working towards. So first, let's also got some soul frame here, which is about to die anyway. Let's place it right here. So to increase fertility. Let's place the nether star in here to increase chance to 100% of mutation. And let's get the beealyzer, because I'm pretty sure 100% that those bees will have a problem here. And this is why I made this specialty Alveary, because Sinister Bee likes hellish climate, and the Montes drone likes hot climate. So this is very far from it. Let's throw them in, let them combine, get over the night, and see what needs to be changed. Okay, so obviously I got my Sinister Queen. Obviously it's still in a hostile environment, and let's actually just beealize it to be 100% sure. Yep, it requires an hellish climate and arid humidity. So basically I need to make this place a lot hotter and a lot less humid. So for the hydro regulator, I'm going to add I think ender tanks. The lava is what I need. Lava will make it more dry but also hotter, so that's good. That's for the hydro regulator. And just click this thing, and now it should start pushing lava inside. It's still in hostile environment. Alright, it's in arid humidity and temperature is normal, so I also want to make it hotter. So right here on this thing, the Alveary heater, I'm gonna place this energy tesseract, set it up to receive from Buildcraft energy, receive only, and it should also start working. And this should make the temperature, it's still not hot enough. Maybe I'm going to need another heater, I guess. Yeah, that's pretty much the only way to go when you think about it. Okay, so I'm gonna build one more, and actually one more of each. Also another fan and another heater. Okay, so I got an additional pitch and also moved a couple of things here. I moved the mutator right here and the hydro regulator right here. I think it should be enough to actually make this look a little bit nicer. So I'm gonna have two fans here, no, two heaters here and two fans here. Let's see if that thing updates without any issues. I really hope it will. Alright, there we go. I guess the only limitation is making sure that those 4 blocks, those windows supposedly, are normal Alveary blocks, because that's the problem that I initially had when I tried building those specialty blocks. Alright, so again, I need the hydro regulator to accept lava, like this. And this time around, let's turn on 2 of those thingies. So, place this in here, and place this here. Buildcraft energy, yes, receive only, place this in here, and extract. Is this enough now? Alright, so it's in warm temperature and arid humidity, and this bee doesn't complain anymore. Should also have, it uses rock for flowers because it's originally a stony bee, so there's some rock here, but also have some nether warts here in case it wants some. Alright, so the mutator block within the star should make sure that it's a 100% mutation chance. The frame housing should make sure that that bee will breed more than one drone, hopefully. Alright, let's replace it. It just died off. Yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of those frames that are just about to die off. And we'll see if that will be 100% chance. Alright, so while waiting for this bee to finish mutating, let's touch again plant logistics a little bit. I'd like to do something in regards to crafting, but not yet the really advanced crafting. Let's do something else. So more often than not, I need some glass or I need some smooth stone, and I just manually so far have been crafting them, but now with the plant logistics I can do something else, a little bit more advanced. So let's get to that. So I placed those relays here. Actually, they're not really necessary anymore since what I'm going to do here, but I'm going to keep them in here just in case. So what I'm going to need here, I'm going to need another furnace. I don't know if I have one, so I'm quickly going to craft another furnace, and basically going to set up a system that will know to get me smooth stone or glass when I need it, whenever I need it. So let me prepare myself. Alright, so I've got myself only 2 transformer upgrades and 2 overclocker upgrades, so 2 overclockers will make it run a little bit slower than what I'm used to, but in the future I'm gonna fix it to get it better upgrades. For the time being it's gonna have to do. Alright, so first let's set up the new section. So it's gonna be connected right here. What, actually, let's connect it even a little bit further. So I know to recognize that this is something different, although it will be visually different anyway. So the electric furnace will go right here. First let's apply the transformers and the overclockers, and let's connect the final wire so it doesn't explode, it's fine. Okay, so I built an ME interface, it's going to be placed right here, and I built an import bus which is going to be placed right here. And you may be asking yourself, what the hell are you doing? And I won't blame you. So first let's connect everything together. So everything should be looking fine. Let's get rid of this, make it a little bit nicer and a little bit more resourceful. Okay, so now this is connected like this. How do I get from this stage to crafting glass and smooth stone? So you may have seen this processing tab that I've been ignoring so far, and this is the way to do it. So let's build something new. This is actually also a step towards crafting eventually, because this is what I'm going to do here is crafting. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to need a pattern encoder. So that's iron, conversion matrix, and one of those working benches, crafting benches. So let's get one. Whoops. This will help first. Okay, so pattern encoder, done. How it works. Let's place it down. It's also a machine that doesn't require to be a part of the system, so right near to my preformatter I can place my pattern encoder. Now as you can see, there is a crafting bench here, just the crafting grid that you're used to. There is this thing and this thing. So what's going on here? So first I'm actually missing something. I am missing something called the ME blank pattern, which is iron, glowstone, glass and quartz. So let's craft one. Glass I'm going to need as well, and some glowstone. Glowstone apparently is actually a very useful material in applied logistics, and I don't really have it. Alright, so let's make 2 of those for the time being. So what do I do with them? Pattern encoder, if you remember, crafting pipes from logistics pipes roughly work the same way. You basically teach a recipe to them, and then you can use them in automatic crafting. It's actually also used for the automatic crafting that applied logistics gives you, but it's also used for what I'm going to do right now. So let's encode a pattern that says that if I place a cobblestone into something, I'm going to get a smooth stone back, not 58, just one. And let's encode that pattern. Done. Now I have this ME encoded assembler pattern that says if you give me 1 cobblestone, you'll get back 1 smooth stone. Now what do I do with that? I place it right here. Now that ME interface realizes that if it's going to receive 1 cobblestone, it's simply going to try and push it somewhere. Obviously the electric furnace is the available inventory, so it will try pushing it here. And the ME import bus will obviously every time suck everything. So whenever this whenever this thing receives a cobblestone, it pushes it, it expects to eventually receive one smooth stone. Now you may also see that I have this recipe right here, this craft recipe, because I do not have any smooth stone in the system. Now if I place some, it changes to this 29 because I just placed 29, but if it's empty, I get this craft symbol. And how that works? Well, simply left click it, say for example I'd like to have 5 cobblestone, begin. And now that ME interface knows that it can craft the smooth stone, it asks for 5 cobblestone from the system and simply pushes it down here. And that's pretty much it. It's extremely simple and extremely easy. Now obviously this import bus sucks everything all the time, and then it realizes, then the system realizes it received the 5 smooth stone it was looking for, and obviously it stops. Like, you get what you were looking for. So that's pretty much it. You can do the same thing for glass, which is I'm just about to. So let's get 1 piece of sand. I already have some glass, so let's encode the pattern that says if you give 1 sand, you get 1 glass back, and encode it. Done. And actually, I'd like to test something. Does it work with relays? Can I place a relay instead of the ME interface directly? That's something I'd like to test because it's going to be relatively useful if it works. Quickly break this and replace it. I don't want my network to be disconnected for too long. And let's place the relay. And let's see, now if I place those encoded patterns here, if I try to craft 5 smooth stones, say, what will happen? Does it know to push it into the relay and this? Yeah, it does. Nice. So now, I can now craft smooth stone and sand and glass whenever I need to, and I'm out of those things, which have been happening quite often lately. So, yeah, getting rid of this problem. Let's see if my bee mutated. And it didn't mutate. I did not expect that. This should have been a 100% chance. Am I doing something wrong? Sinister bee and a modest drone should have yielded the frugal bee that I'm looking for, yet it didn't. Am I doing something wrong? I don't know. Let's try another nether star. You can see the nether star was consumed. It's gone. Okay, now it's in hostile environment as well. Maybe because it wasn't a pure something, maybe the modest or the sinister wasn't exactly pure. It's looking for arid humidity and hellish climate. And is it not it? It's arid, and the temperature, I guess the temperature needs to be even hotter than that. Alright, so let's get more heaters. That's kind of ridiculous, but you know what, let's get more heaters then. Okay, so I got another Alveary heater, another fan. Let's make it look a little bit nicer than it does right now. Let's have it look something like this. So let's have the fan here, let's have the heater here. Connect them like this, so those 3 heaters connected like this. Those 3 fans will be connected like this. And I'm going to need some more conduits. Where are they? Where are my conduits? Just use them. Okay, so connect the 3 fans like this. Have them go up here. Move this. So it will be, one will be here, the other will be here. And the test track will simply be here. So now all of them are connected to the same thing with buildcraft energy, receive only. However, I can manually choose which one extract and which one doesn't. So just using the wrench I can switch in between. And it's right now warm temperature arid humidity, although still seems to be not enough. These guys have some very high standards. Alright, let's give it even one more of each. Okay, so one more fan with conduits connected to it, and one more heater. Started to lose the symmetric, like it's not very much symmetric anymore, but because I'm starting to be limited by what can actually an Alveary look like, so a little bit ugly, but it's still working. So again, let's set up the heaters to work, and hopefully it will stop complaining. Come on, you gotta be kidding me. Is it still not hot enough? What does the Bealizer say? Humidity arid, that's fine. Climate hellish. There is some way, I think that Databank knows how to actually visualize this very nicely. I'm looking for Sinister B. So the Sinister one, yeah, hellish, hot, and warm. Well, it's not even, yeah, it's still on the warm state. You need to get even hotter. Wow. Okay. This is kind of ridiculous, but I guess that's the way it is then. Okay, so I actually added 2 more of each. There are now 6 fans and 6 heaters. It actually, I think, got to a point where I'm pretty sure, no, I'm not covering every possible block yet, but you guys can see it's starting to look like a ridiculous mutation. This is crazy. This is not an Alveary, this is a monster. Alright, but hopefully it will now be enough. I really hope it does. Yeah, okay, so there we go. To get to the hot temperature, I'm using 6 heaters and actually the hygroregulator, which makes the place arid. It actually even makes it hotter. So even the hygroregulator gives me a hand here to make sure that it's hotter, just to breed that bee. Yeah, it's a little bit ridiculous, but guess what? That's what you have to do. Now, I really don't know why didn't it mutate the first time around. The Nether Star should have made it 100% success chance, yet it didn't. So, not sure what to say about that, but yeah, I'm gonna need to give it some more time to see how that turns out again. Alright, so as always, being a 10th episode 110, you guys can expect the word download in the description below. As always, I'm gonna clean up all the extra worlds that I've been creating for some other reasons, except for obviously age 67 is the latest age which actually is useful. Everything else is gonna be removed. And during the period of all this time, I've been gathering a nice amount of quartz, 111 in fact, and that will give me the option to actually start crafting using plant logistics in the next episode. So as always, thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.